I'm going to show you how to transform this rundown factory into a £12 million property development.
I'm Anthony. Here's my 70-unit apartment building in Birmingham, which includes a
Courtyard, gym, laundry, study. That building you can see is...
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys how you can find abandoned apartment buildings, well actually abandoned factories like this in this video. He doesn't include that, he's telling his story. I want you to be able to know how to do this type of stuff too to create your own story. But also, I'm gonna show you a business model in real estate that doesn't require you to do any investing, fixing, flipping, or none of that type of stuff. But let's keep watching.
The Bridge Street Studios. Growing up, the church that we actually went to isn't there right now, so the church building's still there, but the church that we were a part of have left.
I hate to see derelict places across the city in disrepair. If I can turn it into a great development opportunity for us, then that works a treat for me.
I'm going to show you how I found the development site, how I planned it, how I built it, and then of course, the financials.
Okay, so that's a journey right there, guys, but I want to show you something real quick. Let's come over here to loop.net or loopnet.com. Okay, so we are in Detroit right now. As you know, Detroit has a lot of rough neighborhoods, and when I say rough, I'm not talking about in terms of like danger or crime and violence and all of that, even though they do have that there too, but they have a lot of shut down factories there, like going for the Lolo. Okay, so if you wanted to do the same thing he did, you would be able to do it cheaper than in the UK. So he's doing it from the UK. You know, if you're not in the UK, or even if you are in the UK, but you can partner with some investors in the US or something, you can get this done if you want to do a project like that. Look at this one right here on 401 St. Jean Street, 1.2 mil. Look at this one right here, 2600 Cochran Street in Detroit, for 1.5. Look at this. These are some nice buildings, man. Look on Telegraph right here. Like, it's a lot of things you can do with these. So what he did was he flipped that mug. Like, he fixed it, gutted it out. We're gonna see it in a minute what it turned out looking like and everything. And he's making money from it, passive income. But look at this one for 3.2 million right here on Market Street, guys. So there's a lot of opportunities. And like I said, this is loop.net, and you can check it out.
I found the project by...
Let's get to the development. I want to get over there. So you got securing permits.
There were issues with the owner who tried to pull out of the deal once we had planning permission, but I'll save that story for another time.
When I went to strike the deal, I didn't immediately put together that was where I went to church.
The tenants that were renting the premises were really unhappy. The building was a disaster when I first got it. Rat infestation, asbestos, pigeons, water damage, leaks everywhere. The previous owners had...
So this is why, like, I still got a different business model in real estate I'm going to show you guys towards the end. You don't want to have to deal with rat infestations and water damage and repiping and rewiring and a lot of stuff that he had to deal with. Of course, the end game is awesome, but it's going to be a long damn journey. But it's awesome what he was able to do with it.
Completely neglected the building. It just wasn't a nice place to be. Something had to drastically change.
The plan. Let's get to it. Yeah.
Planning the project has been a meticulous process. I worked with a team of architects and other consultants to design the ideal student accommodation building. Not only did it meet the needs of the local area by repurposing a really tired asset, we seem to get a good amount of feedback from residents living there. They're pretty happy there, and we have a good amount of students rebooking. Nice. We brought in some of the best in the business from the construction industry to help deliver this.
Now, as you can see, this is a huge project, man. So it's not like he just did this solo dolo. If you don't have any connections or resources, guys, pulling off something like this could take forever. You might end up giving up halfway through. Like, I'm out here in Panama right now, and this is a neighborhood called Los Molinos that I was staying in, where it was a building that they stopped building it halfway through. But it wasn't because they ran out of money. It was because the person died, unfortunately. But my point is, projects sometimes can take years and stuff like that. So if you're getting into real estate because you bought some land and you want to own it and you want to build on top of it for the long term and pass down assets and all of that stuff, then okay, I understand. But if you're trying to get into real estate for money, like monetary reasons and stuff like that, then like I said, I have something coming up in a few minutes that I'm going to show you guys. Okay, that you don't have to invest in it into any physical real estate. So that means you don't have to deal with any tenants. You don't have to rip out any drywalls or any type of walls or flooring or none of that extra stuff. So let's see if we can get to demolition. All right, press play. Construction.
We then got into the demolition of the building, which was a lot more challenging than expected.
Wow.
Not about going for the cheapest, it's about going for the best mix, but also we're not just going to let anybody just come in and start demolishing sites.
We faced numerous challenges during this project. One of the issues we faced in the early days of the building is that we found asbestos in the building. There's generally two types of asbestos. There's asbestos that doesn't require a license for you to be able to remove it, and there's a more hazardous asbestos that requires a specialist license.
That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Like all these licenses and permits that you're gonna have to deal with. Like, I like the fact of owning physical real estate, guys, but we're in an age where digital real estate is far less risk adverse. Like you don't have the liabilities or responsibilities with digital real estate that you have with physical real estate. With digital real estate, you just have hosting, domain, and maybe marketing expenses or something like that, but golly, this is a lot.
It certainly cost a lot more money. We had to carefully demolish the building as it was basically against two separate boundaries. Once we demolished the building, we had to underpin one of the buildings just to make sure structurally it was safe and sound for the long term. We also had to put in some protection measures to the other neighbouring property by rendering that building. So they were the enabling works we had to carry out. Not straightforward. So oftentimes in development, not just...
There's a lot of work, man. There's a lot of work just to see a return. So I wouldn't even expect a return for a couple years. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he got to be on point with the tenant plan. So this is a section right here. Look, contractor troubles and delays. That's crazy.
profit.
Disappear from social media
Come
and do
on,
this
man, these
instead.
ads.
Be
This is
richer
crazy.
than
Hold
your
on, y'all,
friends,
because I still ain't
mastering
get to show
AI
y'all what I
tools.
got to show y'all. I'm trying to get to the meat and potatoes of this. Okay, so financial
Financing the
breakdown.
project, that wasn't too problematic. We approached a couple of banks to work with that would finance the development. We had to put up some of the money for the development. The rest of it was financed by the bank. We then went to a contractor and a professional team to quote us to deliver the project, and that's how we went along. So it's funded from some of my money, some of the money from my business partner on this, as well as money from the bank. And that's how we funded the development. And that bank actually...
So keyword, he had business partners, and he was able to get bank loans and all of that. Now, I might leave some links for you guys to be able to see if you can get a proof of private lenders and stuff like that if you decide you want to do this physical real estate. But I strongly suggest you consider what I'm going to show you in a minute. Let's go in and see what it turned out so that I can show y'all what I have for
The
you.
luxury student apartments, a study room, a gym, a chill lounge, and outdoor communal space. Now it's
It
a
look
joy.
nice
At times
now.
it wasn't.
Look at it.
There was definitely a time where I'd get a lot of anxiety going back to the building once we'd finished it because I'd relieve all the feelings and emotions I feel. Constantly working on new projects. We have a good few £100 million worth of projects in the pipeline that we're working on. So that's exciting. So there's a
Man, that's a lot of freaking work, y'all. Like, this is not the 90s, man. You don't have to go through that much just to turn a little profit. If you are in architecture or if you deep into real estate, I get it. But if you're just dipping your toe into entrepreneurship and you're interested in real estate, let me show you something real quick. Okay, so let's leave LoopNet, come over here. I'm pretty sure you know what this site is. You're familiar with this site right here, aren't you? This is Airbnb. Airbnb. Now, why are we over here on Airbnb? Am I about to tell you to go and reach out to somebody and do co-listing? Tell them that, instead of renting it for a low of this or that, we can list it on here and make 3 times more. No, that's not what I'm about to tell you. The reason why you guys are seeing all these Panamanian properties is because that's where I'm at right now. But the example I'm trying to give you guys This one is pretty nice. Look at this. Okay. The example I'm about to give you guys is similar to Airbnb, but it's not Airbnb. It's what we teach. It's called HOMETEL. It's a service arbitrage. You're still renting out other people's vacation homes and homes for short term and long term, but the difference is you own the platform. We teach you how to own the platform. You have your own platform. That means you get a cut from every single transaction that happens on the platform. So imagine you owning your own platform similar to an Airbnb. Everything is templated nowadays. It's super simple. We teach you how to get the people to list their properties on your platform and how to infiltrate into their audiences so that you can get fast bookings to your platform. Okay, so let's recap. These people will list their vacation rentals, like, you know, because the more visibility they get, the more money they can get. Maybe they're not getting seen over there on Airbnb. So a lot of people will come and list on your platform, list their vacation home, their homes, their extra rooms and all of that on your platform. And when people come to book from the platform, then you're going to get cuts from that. For example, let me just give you an example. What do I mean? Let's come right here. We're going to say this one right here is $225 a night. We're going to click reserve. All right. When you come down here, look at this. It says, yes, add peace of mind for $85. Okay. Add peace of mind for $85. That's just a made up extra tax or extra way for Airbnb to be able to charge people and get more money on top of what is actually the cost of the vacation rental. Now, let's come down here and see what the actual price is. Look, $250 for 5 nights, okay? But then you see a cleaning fee, and then you see the Airbnb service fee, which is $171 dollars. And so the price goes all the way up from what it actually was. So this is literally how Airbnb makes money. So imagine having your own platform and we're not saying compete with Airbnb. I'm not saying compete with Airbnb. I'm talking about you just leaving your job, getting enough passive income to where you can leave your job. There's a lot of local directories. You can have your own little local rental directory. You don't have to be a billionaire or nothing like that. I'm not saying that, okay? So you can literally have the locals list their vacation rentals, short-term rentals on your listing site. And whenever people book, you get these service fees. You get the insurance and all of that extra stuff, whatever charges you want to dock on. So that's literally how HOMETEL works. It's not the same thing. You're not listing somebody else's property on Airbnb. You are the platform now. You are the Airbnb, and other people list their properties on your platform, and you make money when people book. So if you want to know how to be an owner and get into a crap load of real estate deals super fast, the best way to do that is by owning a platform. I own platforms, okay? And this is how we make a crap load of freaking money, right? This is how I travel the world. This is how I'm able to fund the family of 5, being country hopping and all of that extra stuff because of these platforms and these traffic streams and these income streams that I own. So go on the first pinned comment and we'll show you exactly how to set up your HOMETEL. You'll get a course. It's $997, but it's going to hop back up to $5K because the holidays are over. So while it's $997 right now, go ahead and text HOMETEL to the number that you see in the first pinned comment and get into real estate.